Hello, teacher. This is the video about the translation we had to do for this week's assignment on the description of the volcanoes in El Salvador. Well, we had to use the Calque translation and the literal translation. I had hard time actually defining or finding out the way to separate which was calc and which one was literal. Literal, I knew that it's actually word to word, and sometimes it doesn't even make sense when you translate it. But in this case, this Word document that you gave us, it was actually easy to translate without, in other words, in keeping the same message without changing it. So with the literal translation, I found that it was easier. But with the calc, I had to look at the meaning of calc technique. And so after reading the classes for this week and also doing some research, I found that the calc is a word that it's used in different languages, and then you apply it to the target language that you're translating it to, but it's just a literal translation of that word, exactly what it means, even though if it's used for a different meaning. So for the calc translation, the words that I used or that I highlighted in red was Tierra de los Volcanes, Firma Topográfica, Huella Topográfica on the first paragraph. Because for me, these three words, for me, it was hard for me to decide if there were calc or literal translation. So I highlighted them on both translations. For the second paragraph in calc, the word in English was took root. So for me, that was a calc translation, and I wrote tomaron raíces. And on the third paragraph, the word was awe-inspiring. So when you do the literal translation, for this word, which is like a phrase, I put asombro inspirador. And on the third paragraph, I wrote tradición del pueblo for the folklore word, tradición del pueblo. And for the towering peaks, I chose picos torreados, which was the exact translation. And for the fate of the people, I wrote destino del pueblo. Then the last paragraph before conclusion, it was breathtaking, the word, and I highlighted it, and my translation was dejan sin aliento. And under the paragraph with conclusion, It was, the word in English was storytellers. So for me, the Calque translation for that was contadores de cuentos. And when I was doing the literal translation, like I said, I wrote the same three words that I chose for Calque. Was Tierra de Volcanes, lleva una firma topográfica en huella geográfica. Then have sculpted and esculpido, which for me is a literal translation. Then on the second paragraph, the first paragraph with the description of the volcanoes, I wrote historical markers, marcadores históricos. Then the new ones took root, nuevas echaron raíces. So for me, that's a literal translation. Then on the next paragraph, it was the word pose significant challenges. Posan desafíos significativos. Then on another line, it says developed of robots disaster. So I wrote sistemas robustos. The third paragraph, it said how they have been woven into the fabric of Salvadorian culture. So I wrote, or the translation for that was tejidos en el tejido de la cultura. Then embraced, on the last line on that same paragraph, said that the culture has embraced these. So my literal translation was abrazado. And the second last, for the literal translation, those are the only words that I chose. And it was hard. It was hard to make a difference between the translations, because for me, when you do a translation, you keep the same, you try to keep the same meaning, but with this type of techniques is actually not giving too much effort to translate the exact meaning, but to translate the words that specific words into the target language literally. So it was fun doing it. Thank you.